We are from RIS Y1S3, Group 1. My name is Segui and my teammates is Siang. So this course is called Fundamentals of Computers Networks, and we're going to present its assignment, which is so this is the table of content. So this is the content. We have been hired as a LAN engineer tasked with configuring local area network, which is LANs, for 3 Model Group company using Cisco packet tracer. So this is the map we need to configure based on these maps and the meters and the buildings, and each building has its own department. So this is the calculation of the host. So for the building, which has each departments, so we need to calculate 20% of the growth, which is based on the question given. So for example, for 40, which is 40 times 120%, which got 48. And others is also same as well. This is also the same. So for the addressing design, we use VLSM and we use Class C subnetting. It is because Class C subnetting, it provides a sufficient room for accommodating this demand without running into address space limitation, which means that Class C has more enough space for comparing to other classes. So we use private network also, which is because it can minimize the risk of unauthorized access of security breaches, and also will be more cheaper than public network. And VLSM, we use it because it can efficiently allocate IP address to different departments and production lines based on their respective host requirement. And the most important of this is it can maximize the IP address usage and reduce IP address wastage, which means it can be more efficiency. And for the configuration, we use the last usable subnet address as the default gateway, which is router's IP address, and the second last for the switch IP address. And the first and following we use for configure the end devices. So this is the device we use. We use for the intermediary device, we use switch and router. And for the end device, we use PC, laptops, and printers. So this is the VLSM table. So basically, this table is used for calculating the usable host and subnet address. So, like for example, like for manufacturing department, it requires 240 hosts. So we need 2 power 8s to get 256 usable hosts. So to get the prefix, it just use 32 minus 2 power 8, use the 8. So 32 minus 8, we get 24. And the subnet mask. So this is the address, and so this is the first usable host, last usable host, and broadcast address. So this is the whole VLSM table. And for the addressing table, for what we use for configure the device. So for router, we use gigabit Ethernet interface to assign the IP address into it. So it doesn't have default gateway because it is the default gateway to others device. Like switch, its default gateway is 190.168.8.62. So this IP address is the gigabyte 8/0 from router A. So its default gateway is router A. So it will connect to router A. So this is the other else. It's also use the same method to connect to each other. So default gateway is to router, and this is the IP address for each devices. So the network topology. So we use fiber optic to connect router to router, router to router. And we use copper straight through cable to connect end devices. From switch to router, we use copper straight through cable. So this is the close picture of each building. Like we have put the IP address and subnet mask for each devices. and this is the interface, and this is the name. So for the connection media, we use fiber optic cable and copper straight through cable only. So this is the example of what we use inside our Cisco. So for switch to router, we use copper straight through, and from router to router, we use fiber optic. And why we use fiber optic? Because it can withstand long distance connection. If we use serial, it can also, but it will become one. It will not become LAN, which not fulfill the requirement of what the question wants. And for the network configuration part, I will pass it to my teammate Siang to explain about it.
So thank you for my teammate Segwi. So this is my turn. So I'm going for the network configuration, and due to our question needed, it is needed for the passwords for Cisco 2024 and the secret password for class 2024. So we enable the intermediary device like the router and the switch, and this is how we configure the router and how we assign the router IP address and the subnet mask. So we do the same method in the router and the switch. So when we go for the router CLI, so when you need to start it, so they require for the password. So this is called the successful configure the router, and we do the same thing as the switch also. So this is for NPD switch. So next is our end device configuration, and for the PC, you need to configure them in the three of it, like the IP, subnet mask, and default gateway. For every end device, you need to configure three of it for the PC, laptop, and printer. Like if you going for the PC, going to the desktop page and going to IP configuration, and this is what you're going to assign for each PC. And for the printer, this a little bit different. Like you need to assign the default gateway first, and for you're going for the line, then you assign for the IP and the subnet mask. And another example is the laptop. It's same as the PC, so we need to assign three of it. So next, this is our pin connectivity example from building A to B, and another one is building C to D. And this is the digital resource that we use. So this is the end of our PPT. So we are trying to pin the local device. Like this is in the building A, we're going to pin this this administration PC to another one. Yeah, so we pin successfully, so the administration PC1 can get a message reply from the administration packet administration PC2. So we are going to try from this PC going to the last PC at here, like 7.13130. And yes, this is successfully done it. So our LAN design is successfully completely, so that we can send the message from here, from the building B to the building C, which is the far distant. I think this is end for our assignment. So thank you for watching.